Direction, choose your own path.
You know this is the home of We Major, Me Frosty, Unfamous, and the restricted clothing brands. Let's get it.
The message is always in the cloth, the colors, the designs, the fit. Basic. Pay attention. Stay alert. And remember, choose your own path.
Direction, choose your own path.
Don't just wear anything. Wear garments that mean something. We got hats. We got sweatshirts. We got jackets. We even got hoodies. Let's not forget our classic tees. Direction, choose your own path.
The message is always in the cloth, the colors, the designs, the fit. Basic. Pay attention. Stay alert. And remember, choose your own path.
Yeah, I did that.
Yo, we here. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. DJ Hamp, same people in the building. So, you know, I got that boxing tournament this weekend. I'll be traveling tomorrow. Said, you know, I like to keep my schedule at the very least. Don't miss no shows. You feel me? So I said, let me move this to Thursday. You know what I mean? Make sure that we fulfill our gamut of shows on a weekly basis. You heard? So appreciate everybody running in the building. It's really a pop-up. DJ Hamp on deck. Let's get it popping, man. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Salute everybody in the building so far. Hit the share button just because it's a different day, you heard. And I don't know if YouTube be sending out all the notifications to all 61,000 subscribers. Let's get it.
Yeah. It's Bodycam. It's Bodycam. It's Bodycam, yeah. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend. DJ Hamp about to go live again. So hit the likes, my friend, on your way in. First off, salute the chat. And to all new cousins, welcome back. Heard you searching for the real, well, this is where it's at. The latest topics and panels and brother, don't get sent to the bathroom. We got all the stats, too, back to facts in the morning or the afternoon. Tuesday, women's POV, 2 Fridays, dance a jamming tune. It's a community of real, and we better than the world news. This might be risky, I hope you know. Let's go. This might be risky. No, I love you, real, I love it. This might be risky. Salute to DJ Hamp, it's time to start the show. Salute to DJ Hamp, it's time to start the show.
I like that shit. I like that shit, folks.
So to my brother Fo, who made that beautiful intro for me. If you need one, get in contact with him. If you can't get in contact with me, I'll get you in contact with him, man. Yeah, AP, it'll be in Vegas, man. I fight on Ring 1. There's a link to actually watch the fight. One of the mods could dump it in the chat. You know what I mean? But there's a link to actually watch the fight via live stream. I don't know if I'll be able to live stream it, but I'll be able to record it. So I fight in Ring 1. The fight started at 12 o'clock, and I'm fight 14. Know what I mean? Let's do it. Salute everybody in the building. Let me see in the chat real quick, and we get it popping. My OG AP in the building. Salute. E-Dub, what's popping, man? Good to see you. Hope all is well. My brother Fo in the building. Rainbow Kid, what up, baby? Good to see you. Ordy, what's shaking, my G? Hope all is well. Hope everything's everything. Vegas, we lit. Salute to all the family who coming out there to love and support. We're going to get it popping for sure. Quincy, what's good, King? Good to see you as always. Thank you for Quincy and Sporties for running the Get Fit room in the Discord. Get your push-ups, get the regiment popping. They change up the regiment every 30 days. I recommend that you get in there with them if you want to start that fitness journey, man. Salute. Thanos, what up, baby? Salute to my brother Thanos was right in the building with a $5. Say salute. See if I can hit this goal. Ratchet City, what up, my G? Salute to DC in the building, man. You already, man. See, Rob, salute. OG was popping. T Savant was goody, kid. Good to see you, man. Judge Righteously, top of the morning. Hope everything's everything. Nightbot behaving. That's always a pleasure. Salute. My brother Trinell, what's popping? You already, man. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, man. Popping this shit up, get it popping, man. Salute to everybody in the building, yo. I saw this case. I think I might be a little bit late on it, but it just got me to thinking, you know? So let's talk about it, man. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Salute to everybody in the building. Let's get it popping, man.
Daddy, are you ready? Are you ready? What's going on? What's going on? Rockefeller. Daddy, are you ready? Are you ready? What's going on?
Yo, so did you guys see the story of Daquan Johnson out of Grand Rapids, Michigan? Did you guys see what happened with the brother about 2 weeks ago? So let's recap the story a little bit just so you guys kind of know exactly what I'm talking about. I want to make sure that we on the same page before I go on this diatribe. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, man. Salute to everybody in the building. So here's the story right here. So Daquan Johnson, here's just a blurb, all right? So I at least want to go through this blurb. I'll read it for you guys. I know it's a little bit small. So I'll read it really quick. So this here says, Grand Rapids, Michigan. The mother of a man who was fatally shot by Grand Rapids police officers said police executed her son. She also says she had viewed video of the killing that provided a better look at what happened than video released by police. Daquan Johnson, 32, died early Thursday, February 19th, hours after he was shot late Wednesday in the parking lot of Eastern Lofts of Eastern Avenue Southeast, north of Martin Luther King Jr. Street. Grand Rapids police tried to stop Johnson, who was riding a bicycle after 9:25 p.m., after an officer reported he might be armed with a pistol. Police videos showed Access trying to get him to stop and eventually releasing a police canine that stopped the man. So here's the video. We'll play it a little bit later. The police video shows that the officer trying to handcuff Johnson before an officer fired 3 shots, striking Johnson in the chest. The officer said on the video that the barrel of the gun was pointed at him. The gun was found underneath Johnson, police said. The killing has generated anger and controversy with race. Johnson was black, being an issue. Police Chief Eric Windstrom released 3 police videos to encounter what he called falsehoods spreading on social media. Angelica Johnson said during a Facebook Live video on Friday that the footage of the shooting showed a different angle than the police videos and showed that he was helpless on the ground when he was shot. She said that race played a role. He was being targeted, just like so many black kids. She said he was riding a bike on the road, posed no danger during the low-speed pursuit. That is not the reason to shoot somebody, she said. And I'm sorry, y'all, but y'all need to know the truth, not their truth. My truth, and the truth is my son wasn't doing nothing, and they shot him. Wow. Oh, not only did they shoot him, after they shot him, he became lifeless. They let the dog go back to attacking my son's face. She said after her son had been described by police as a felon with a firearm, which he would not have been able to legally possess. But you didn't know that prior to executing that boy. They have been following my son all that day. Not only I knew it, people at the gas station he frequents, they knew it. My son had more information than they wanted him to carry. During the video, she said the funeral called so she could view her son's body for the first time. She said she wasn't ready to see his body, but if I don't show up for him, who will? Oh my Jesus, I don't know if that's something I want to see. The video of the shooting was bad enough, but I gotta say goodbye to my baby. She said her son's face was mauled. She said her son was shot in the head, contradicting the police statements that Johnson was shot in the chest. It was not clear how many of 3 shots fired struck Johnson. They executed him close range, shot him close range, not standing from a distance, close range with his hands behind his back as a dog ate at his face. Are you guys familiar with this story of Daquan Johnson? Let me know. Are you guys familiar with this story as it pertains to Daquan Johnson? Hey, peace, salute, salute, salute. Thank you for the contribution to the goal. I appreciate you. Okay, okay. So I'm gonna play the video, but I was looking at a couple different things. I'm not sure if I can play this video, but I'm gonna play it just because we need the context. We always have these conversations regarding race and how much does it play a part to affect you or slow you down. The argument is that it doesn't slow you down. Racism is at the point where, although it exists, it doesn't have heavy effects to where it affects your life. But what I do look at and I want us to assess is perception. How are we perceived? How much do other people's actions, disposition, how they look, their skin color reflect on you? And what can be the potential outcomes because of that? Right? What are the stereotypes that you have to combat each and every day so that you don't get caught up or mistakenly identified or fit the description or be racially profiled to the point where it could cost you your freedom or your life? I don't know if you guys ever been accosted, but the fact just being in handcuffs, being detained because you may look or look like or be perceived to be somebody that you're not, basically just based on skin color and profiling. You know, who are these police officers? Who are these people policing these neighborhoods? What agenda do they have? There were two nurses in nursing school. I forget where it was. I think somewhere in Madison, I think Wisconsin. One was a nurse, one was going to be a psychologist, right? They have to help whomever comes to their offices or their hospitals, especially the nurse. They had water bottles and it spelled out nigger. So I simply ask, right? What happens when that woman who has nigger on her water bottle as a joke becomes your nurse? What are the potential outcomes? When the women are telling us, hey, there's disparate treatment in the hospitals because of the skin color and the assumptions about the black women, whether it be they come in there alone with no man as a covering, whether they are like, how would you say, invulnerable to pain, you know? Are they dismissed? Like, how seriously do they take these things? You remember we mentioned the story in Virginia to where the lady was breaking the legs of babies that are in the NICU that were black. She was breaking their limbs. 6 or 7 babies in Virginia. And it's called Henrico, Virginia, right? Breaking the legs of the babies in the NICU, right? Natal intensive care. That's an intensive care unit for premature babies or babies that have abnormalities or some conditions. They send them to the intensive care unit for infants. And the kids were coming out of there with broken legs and everything else. So we had the conversation and you want to make the argument about the fact that racism won't slow you down or stop you from doing anything. Okay, we can argue that, right? But the fact that people are racist and these things can affect us based on how they see us, regardless if we actually exhibit that behavior. There's so many assumptions being made and so many things are heightened now, right? Think about what Newsom said in terms of relating to black people because he got a 960 on the SATs, right? If those leaders are talking like that, what's the mindset? Where did these people come from? Who were they born from? I showed you guys the brother who's on the water fountain, right? I think now he's 86 years old. When he's drinking from the whites only water fountain, he's still alive, right? Who are these people the children of? Who are these people children of? Who's raising them? Who's teaching them? What are they willing to perpetuate? Let me show y'all this. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Salute to everybody coming in the channel, coming in the stream. I know this is an off day, but I think it was important to have the show, had a conversation. Me and Fo play some tunes, but I cannot miss a day. You heard? Right? So let's say they say the Klan has dissipated, right? It's no longer overt. They no longer have power. Who are their children? Right? Who are their children? Where do these people come from that are willing to break the legs of infant children that are already in dire straits? These people you're going to see on this video got kids from somewhere. They had kids by somebody. These people live somewhere. They hate everybody. At least it's equal opportunity. You heard him. He hate everybody. These people got kids. So you can say racism ain't going to stop you from doing nothing. People will. You can say systematic racism is less likely to hinder you. Okay. But what happens when you run into people who are born from these people? Do you know how to identify the people that don't have your best interest? Are you doing yourself a disservice by giving too many people the benefit of the doubt? Okay. I might have to play from a different mechanism. Let me see real quick. Hold on 1 second. One second. Let me see if I can fix this real quick. So you can't hear it, right, Rainbow? All right, hold on. Let me see. All right, 1 second. Let me get the video to play with the sound. Yeah, you could not hear it, right? All right, let me know. Can y'all hear the video now? Can I hear the video now? No? Okay, let me try this. 1 second. Because it's important to hear the video, right? All right. So it's important to hear the video. 1 second. All right, hold on. Let me get this video up. All right.
We are the Ku Klux Klan. We hate niggers. We hate Jews. We hate faggots. And we hate spicks. We don't have to have a reason to hate them just because they breathe. We hate the filthy bums. You people need to get off your ass and wake up. This is America. The niggers are taking it over and the Jews. Make a stand. Join the Klan. White power! White power! White power! And I hate Jews. I hate them because they exist. I hate them because they breathe. I hate them because they're scum. The goddamn niggers are the scum of the earth. White power! White power! White power!
I'm just asking. They got kids. And then you heard the justification. There is no justification. I hate them because they exist. So I'm just asking, right? When we keep dismissing how racism can play a part, and we can argue about the systematic racism dissipating, but these people got kids. These people got families. This ideology has not died, right? You had the vice president saying, white people don't have to apologize for being white anymore, right? Whatever that means, you know? But who hears that and what do they do? How does somebody get shot allegedly in the back, chest, or head, laying flat. Right? How do you get hands on them enough to get them on the ground with the dog when you say you saw the gun with them riding on the bike? How do you even get in that close proximity to shoot somebody from that close? Right? And we'll figure out more as that case, matures, right, and progresses. But here's what I'm saying. There's a little bit of a Samboing, right? When we see these situations, and you can say, "Oh, this is a one-off," you whatever the case is. But the fact that there's people out here with these ideology, how do you move in the earth? People be a little bit too lackadaisical talking about racism doesn't exist enough to affect you, but there's people out here perpetuating these ideologies. Are you cognizant? Are you aware? Are you vigilant? We do a little bit too much dismissing of the obvious truth that exists. Like, look at this, right? So, they were saying nigger this, nigger that, right? But look at how things are viewed. Did you guys see this here? First and foremost. Right? Did you guys see this? So this is a movie award, I think, in England or in the United Kingdom, right? Michael B. Jordan, the guy with Tourette's yells out nigger, right?
Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making. We're here to celebrate. Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making. We're here to celebrate. Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
The thing about Tourette's is they say that it's an uncontrollable, what's the proper terminology? Somebody edify me, right? It's uncontrollable, right? These words, phrases just come out, but they pertain to an ideology, right? He can apologize all he wants, but the fact that when he's seen the two black men, that's the uncontrollable reaction that he had, right? Yeah, the tick, right? But that's in his psyche, right? That's in his ideology. There is no dismissing that. He saw the two black men, and that's the first word that he was unable to control. So he spazzed out and had a tick about it. Just think about this, right? Think about how people see you. Now, it's one thing how you react to the thing. But if you are unable to, or you fail to identify what you've seen as, how people view you, what the perception and what that could mean in terms of outcomes, is foolish in nature. You can comport yourself well all you want, but mistaken identity, you fit the description, right? We got a call. All these things actually happen. You see the professor of Harvard in Massachusetts get accosted at his own house because they didn't think he belonged there based on how he looked. You can comport yourself well all you want, right? But people come from those Klan members. People have the ideology of this dude who has this tick. And these same people are the police officers. These same people are the people moving around you. How do you mitigate that? It's damn near impossible. But if you dismiss it, you do yourself a disservice. You heard the Klan members say, we don't need a reason. So why wouldn't they pass on that ideology? And then I asked, where are those children at now? Where are those grandchildren at now? Who are you standing across from each and every day? What's the job they do and how can that affect you? If I can see the argument, systematic racism is diluted or very low now, cool. But what about the people? How are they acting? How are they operating? What batteries in their back now? Right? So here's something interesting that I saw regarding this. So it says, this is from WorldStar. Google has issued an apology after a computer-generated news alert about a racial slur incident at the BAFTA Film Awards included the N-word, a mistake, quote unquote, that has sparked widespread outrage, particularly among readers of color who say the error reflects a troubling lack of care around harmful language. the tech giant sent out a notification linking to a Hollywood Reported article titled, quote, "How the Tourette's Fallout Unfolded at the BAFTA Film Awards." However, beneath the headline, the alert prompted users to, quote, "see more on," followed by fully spelled out racial slur. Many have called the incident deeply offensive and negligent, arguing that no automated system should ever surface such language out without safeguards, regardless of context. In the statement of deadline, a Google spokesperson said, "We're very sorry for this mistake." This is a quote. "We removed the offensive notification and are working to prevent this from happening again. For many, the apology does little to ease concerns about how communities continue to be harmed when powerful platforms fail to prioritize cultural awareness and accountability in their technology." In short, they don't respect you. They don't give a fuck how you feel. You don't have no power. You don't make or break shit. Even the Trump thing, you remember when he had the thing come out about the, what was it, the messing up of the votes, right? And then they forgot to clip out President Obama and Michelle being monkeys, right? It was at the tail end of the clip about the voting polls being skewed and whatever the case is, right? But they didn't clip it out. It was a mistake, right? Just like this is a mistake from people who literally do this for a living, that send out notifications to the entire world, that make some of the best provocative things that make you click on damn near everything. But yet they make this mistake. Yet the Trump publicist or whomever, right, that put the clip out made that mistake. You know, they don't give a fuck about you, right? They don't respect you. So how does that manifest in the earth is all I'm saying. We say what is racially or not racially motivated, right? But things continue to happen, and we show there's a lack of care and respect regardless. I'm saying, yo, be mindful of that shit. You give too much benefit of the doubt, you become the doubt, right? You become the thing that is cast aside, that nobody give a fuck about. So her friend took a screenshot of the Google notification she received, and it is unsettling.
I have made it a point to not curse on my page, but seriously, Google, what the fuck?
I'm gonna let her talk her shit, right? But look at the notification. Sorry, look at the notification. Right, hold on. Let me see if I can. So the notification says the Hollywood Reporter, "See more on niggers." Think about that. See more on niggers. Best technology in the world. Best engineers. Best software. Most money. People were literally just complaining or concerned about how much money they poured into CapEx, right? How much they spent on capital expenditures, right? People are saying, "Oh shit, Google spent too much money." It was like 130 billion or something. How the Tourette fallout unfolded at the BAFTA film, the Hollywood Reporter said, "See more on niggers." Yeah, it was a notification on the phone, Savant, you know, that they send out periodically when things are happening. I'm just saying, they don't give a fuck about you, right? They don't respect you. So I'm asking you guys a common sense question. If they don't care about you and they don't respect you, what happens then? How will you treat it? How do you treat people that you don't respect and don't care about? And you dislike just because? And that same dislike was passed down and perpetuated. And then these people, right, essentially are powerless, can't do nothing about it. So how do you act towards them? How are they treated? Are they easier to shoot? Are they easier to ignore? What's the manifestation of that lack of care and respect? Cheek, salute. Reality. What up, my G? Appreciate you. Hope we make it to this goal. My young OG Cheek. Perfect. Been a member for 25 months. Said he was just joking though, Hamp. Quote unquote. It's just words. Why should we care? We too sensitive. If that white man said about Jews, it gets handled. Yeah. And think about the trauma we do to a particular thing that we should be mad about, right? And I'm saying this might be the wrong word, right? But we out here talking about, oh, it shouldn't matter, just words. Yeah, but the Anti-Defamation League don't play with none of that shit. And then another excuse would be, oh, well, they in power. Regardless, we don't have to play it though. We don't have to accept it. We don't have to justify it. Anti-Defamation League don't let shit slide. And I'm not even saying, yo, be out here with a picket sign. I'm saying, yo, think about this. Google don't care. The Trump publicists don't care. Right? The Ku Klux Klan said they don't care. They hate us just cuz. They hate the Jews just cuz. They hate the Latinos just cuz. And they got kids. And they got grandkids. And those people do jobs. So if you want to argue the systematic thing ain't such a heavy burden on us, let's say I concede that. What about the people operating those things? What's their origin? And then Google don't care. The president of the United States publicists and whoever run the Twitter don't care. You had the young Republicans don't care. And they see you in a certain way. Eventually, that's going to be something. Jay Hodges, salute, man. Thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate you. You heard? Welcome to the family. Cuzzo, you was in the Discord too, right? So take this walk with me, man. I'm just trying to understand this. You know, look at this, right? When you're looking at these large, influential platforms making billions of dollars. So this one here, let me read it first. Black woman shocked that TikTok banned creators from saying white people. Instead, they spell it YT, but can say nigga and black. So yes, it's always that deep. So Sunset Monet says, if a platform can algorithmically detect tone, context, and even sarcasm, why does it suddenly lose nuance when it comes to race? Why is one racial descriptor treated as combustible while others are permitted in their full spewing, even historically weaponized? What does it communicate to millions of other users when, quote, white must be coded, but most violent slur in American history can circulate more freely? T, good to see you, man. Hope all is well. Let me let them talk. I haven't actually listened to it. I just saw the caption. So we'll watch it together.
Let me tell y'all how deep it is. And this is why I say it's not a subject that I even play around with. Right now on TikTok, you can't even put white in your captions. You have to spell it YT because they won't allow you to speak on it. So if it's not as deep as it is, then we wouldn't even be having that conversation. Yeah. This is not a matter of he say, she say, kiki, kaka. This is some serious, deep-rooted, systematic issues that we're going up against. I can't even say white people on TikTok, but you can say black, you can say nigga, you can say this, you can say that. Why? Because they're pushing that agenda. So I don't take my eyes off the prize. Now I wouldn't even call them out their name. I wouldn't say crack. I don't do that. Right. But understand, you come for me and you say that term, I'm gonna read you professionally and make you feel like the bottom of the barrel. Okay?
I love that, but I want to know: can you say crack on TikTok?
Can I say
projection?
So just listen. Nick, what up, baby? I see you, Rainbow. T, salute. This is the thing, right? You understand what I'm articulating to you guys, right? Yeah, we can see it. They don't care. That's all I'm illustrating. Right? TikTok, you got to say white T, but you can say black and nigga. Just think about it. Now couple that with Google. Couple it with the Trump thing. Couple it with the KKK. Then ask yourself who you dealing with. Couple it with the young Republicans. When 30 and 35-year-olds were being called kids, kids do stupid things. right? What's the point of telling white people in a 60% white country that they don't have to apologize or be afraid to be white anymore? Why is it complaining when we do it? When the Anti-Defamation League does it, it's cool, right? They're literally saying you can't insult us in any way, shape, or form. They don't let anything slide. And we justify all of it, though. We say all of it's okay. We say why black people so sensitive. It's about correction, right? If something needs correcting, you correct it, regardless of the reason. If it's emotion, if it's sensitivity, if it's principle, the correction still needs to come. We think it's cool to let people play with us. We think we bigger or better or some weird shit like that. Right? TikTok don't care. Google called it a mistake, but you would have to surmise that they don't care. BAFTA don't care. The publicists for X for the president don't care, because those mistakes don't happen. You have the best people in the world. Now I ask you again, when people don't respect you, don't care about you, think you powerless, how do they see you and treat you in real time? But we steady playing. Barry, what's good, my G? Perfect. I like what you're doing, brother. Keep up the good work. I would like by chance to be on one of your panels. Yeah, for sure. Perfect. Yo, Barry, salute to Barry. He is now the super chat boss. He got 9,700 XP right now, man. It's gonna take a lot of damage to get him out that spot, man. Yeah, brother. Hit us on This Might Be Risky on Instagram mostly. That's why we're able to kind of compile people. Salute to Callie, who tries to manage that. We get a lot of messages. But yes, definitely hit us with a message on that. Do it now, that because it's on top of mind, or it could get lost because people send us so much dope clips to review. And then we'll see. And then let me know what you like to talk about, and then we could go from there. All right. Salute. D, salute, my G. Perfect. Been a member for 18 months. Says power to the people. Indeed. Daily in the building with the $5 says for the goal and for correction. Money Talk Thursday. Perfect. 8 p.m. Eastern. Get in tune with Daily and Obstacles. Dope ass content they have for us regarding getting your money up. Please go tune into those brothers in the Discord. All right. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. I just want you to understand, once again, if you're one of these people that systematic oppression doesn't slow us down, I'll concede that to you, right, for the sake of this conversation. I'm just letting you know they don't respect you, don't give a fuck about you, are apathetic towards you, right? And how does a person who doesn't respect you, don't care about you, think you are powerless, how do they treat you in the earth? It's rhetorical, but you catch my drift, right? People in high places. People that are literally teaching you things, showing you things. Your nurses, your psychiatrists, psychologists. Right? What's the Word TV says? An associated professor at Hunter College in New York City is being reviewed by her employer following a Zoom call that has now gone viral on social media. Allison Friedman, a professor at Hunter College, was heard making racist remarks at a virtual meeting of the New York City School District 3 Community Education Council while an 8th grader was speaking about not wanting to lose her school. According to Friedman, she was trying to explain the concept of systemic racism to her child, who was in a room with her. What are your thoughts? All right. Let's take a listen.
He delivers lessons and helps us fit those skills into our lessons.
Black schools that like they're too dumb to know they're in a bad school. I mean, apparently Martin Luther King said it. Like if you train a black person well enough, they'll know to use the back. You don't have to tell them anymore. They just
Allison Friedman, what you're saying is absolutely hearable here. You got to stop.
There's no, you're not.
I'm sorry, sweetie. Go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
Me and many other students is our classic, and with that on Friday, he delivers lessons and helps us fit those skills into our lessons.
Black schools that like they're
This
they're too dumb to know they're in a bad school.
Independent in our class.
I mean, apparently Martin Luther King said it. Like if you train a black person well enough, they'll know to use the back. You don't have to tell them anymore. They just
Allison Friedman, what you're saying is absolutely hearable here. You got to stop.
What you think? What you think? Nothing burger, right? That's how people see it. She said she was trying to explain systemic racism, right? So she said, I'll play it again.
Yeah, I'm sorry, sweetie. Go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
Me and many other students is our classic, and with that on Friday, he delivers lessons and helps us fit those skills into our lessons.
Black schools that like they're
they're
too dumb to know they're in a bad school.
Independent in our class.
I mean, apparently Martin Luther King said it. Like if you train a black person well enough, they'll know to use the back. You don't have to tell them anymore. They just
Allison Friedman, what you're saying is absolutely hearable here. You got to stop.
Just telling you, they don't give a shit. I got you, Barry. Just telling you, they don't care. All right. Is she fired? She probably under investigation. They're gonna give her paid leave while they investigate. Right. I guess that she gets to justify. Wow, in the midst of the kid giving a reason why her school shouldn't be closed down, she's distracted by somebody else in the room and not listening. Right. You know. Not cognizant of what's going on, just doing it for the sake of. I'm just telling you that they don't care, bro. Friedman. I know that name quite often is associated with people who are Jewish, right? How do they see you? How do they look at you? And how does that manifest in the earth when things start happening to you, to the people around you, to the people you love? I'm just asking. I ain't talking about systemic racism. I'm talking about how high you can get on the corporate ladder. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the people that's around you, right? When they don't need you, when they don't need to use you as tokenism, when you get that vice president position, right? A gift destroys the heart. I hear people all the time, black people all the time. It was white people that helped me. It's white people that did it. It make you lose sight. It make you cloud your judgment, right? It's like you erase all history, but this ain't history. This was yesterday. The shit that happened in Grand Rapids was a week ago, right? The Klan members I showed you, they got kids, right? They got grandkids. The Google thing I showed you was last week. The BAFTA thing I showed you was last week. The Trump thing was 3 weeks ago. They don't respect you. They don't give a fuck about you. So how does that manifest in the treatment of you in the earth? That's all I'm telling you to understand. Right? Get your money. Work your ass off. And start your own business so you don't have to answer nobody. I'm just telling you, when people are standing across from you, how do they see you? Don't be willfully obtuse. Don't be foolish. You know, I always say, be cordial in the earth. You got to get along with people to get along, right, in our country. You know, it's a melting pot. But y'all get too comfortable. So maybe we have to be reminded by examples of Google putting niggers in the notification that they send to 6 billion people and then saying sorry for it when they send out 1 million notifications a day about 1 million different topics, and they're the best at it. They be having me click on shit that I already know the story, but I'm thinking it's something different because of how well they laid out the thesis or the title. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most.
With me.
Daquan Johnson, 32-year-old. We trying to figure out why, how was he killed in cold blood or what?
That's hurt. That's gonna miss this young man.
Breaking news now on 13 on your side.
There's a family that's hurt. That's gonna miss this young man.
We begin at 5 o'clock with breaking news coverage of a police-involved shooting in Grand Rapids. Police held a news conference less than an hour ago and provided body camera video. The man shot by the officer last night is identified by his family as Daquan Johnson. He died at the hospital this morning. We have multiple crews following this story tonight with reaction from family and witnesses. But we begin with 13 Your Side's Nick Nelson with what Police Chief Eric Winstrom had to say. Nick.
That's right. We just heard from Grand Rapids Police Chief Eric Winstrom, who showed body camera footage from the responding officers that shows what led up to the shooting death of Daquan Johnson last night. Now, here's a look at that video. In part of the video, you can see the man identified by family as Johnson being pursued by a police officer while on his bicycle. Around 9:30, Winstrom says the officers followed him into the parking lot of an apartment complex. According to the video, while being restrained by the officers and the K-9, one officer says that Johnson is holding a gun. 3 shots can be heard from the officers, and Winstrom says he believes the man was struck in his chest. He died from his injuries early this morning.
There's a lot of inconsistencies or outright falsehoods being spread on social media, and tragically, this young man last night involved in the shooting died. Very thankful that the officers involved were not hurt, but I know that this individual has loved ones and family members that cared about him.
Now, as per standard procedure, Michigan State Police is now in charge of the investigation. Reporting live, Nick Nelson, 13 on your side.
Nick, thank you. And the family of Daquan Johnson is sharing his story today and reacting to the way police handled the confrontation. We continue our live team coverage with 13 Your Side's Micah Cho. Micah.
Yeah, we're in front of Miss Tracy's liquor store, about half a mile away from where Daquan Johnson was shot. This is supposed to be the starting point of a march by his friends and family. It has not started yet. It was supposed to start around 5 o'clock, but we were able to catch up with some of them earlier today. This is what his aunt had to tell me.
We have a lot of different narratives that are going on as to what happened. But regardless of what happened, no one deserves to be handled like that.
Elizabeth Elliott describes her nephew as a father who loved to sing.
He loved to sing with anybody, and he could sing. He was a good dad. He took care of his kids.
Elliott says she wants to see the body cam footage of Wednesday night's shooting, adding that will be the only way they can get answers.
And we have him detained, and he's already on the ground. Why did it take him to have to shoot him? Why couldn't they tase him? Why couldn't they just get more people there? The dogs was already on him.
Kent County Commissioner Robert Womack says the officer-involved shooting happened in his district, and after talking with a family, he said he learned Johnson's kids watched what happened to their father.
His children also being in that apartment building, looking out the apartment building and watch the whole thing. They're calling their grandmother while this is going on. It's just a sad thing in this community, the trauma that those kids are going through. What do we have in place for those children?
Again, that march is supposed to start here at Miss Tracy's and go about a half mile to the apartment complex. For now, in Grand Rapids, I'm Mike Cho for 13 on your side.
All right, Micah, thank you. Witnesses to the shooting are talking about what they saw last night. Some of them spoke with us today on 13 Your Sides. Callie Lichter continues our team coverage with what they saw. Callie.
Elena, those witnesses.
My bad. Think about this. What are y'all saying in your heads? So what? Happens all the time. This nothing new. I'm used to this. Why did he run? Why did he pedal too fast? Why did he have a gun? What you saying to yourself? Fuck all that. I'm asking you, the people chasing him, what they think about him. How you control that?
Say they are both scared and scarred about what they saw happen to their neighbor last night, just feet from their apartment complex. Around 9:30 Wednesday night, the parking lot of Eastern Lofts Apartments in the Baxter neighborhood of Grand Rapids became a crime scene.
What else we saying? Cops got to make it home. This is a scary situation. We shouldn't have any expectations for them, although they are supposed to be trained to protect and serve. But who is that cop, though? Who is granddaddy's daddy's granddaddy? What you see with your eyes. And what makes you give them the benefit of the doubt? What makes you say, we need more, we need to see more in order to see what makes it right or wrong? Who taught you to hate yourself? Ask yourself why you give the benefit of the doubt to who and for what reason. If we get the information and it comes out, boy was wrong, say that part. But I'm going to ask you, are you predisposed to give the benefit of the doubt to them and for what reason? And then at the same time, cry about propaganda.
Or lights pointed, one of the two. I was kind of frantic, so I don't remember. But they had something pointed at him.
3 witnesses described shots being fired during an officer-involved shooting in their parking lot. Their neighbor, Daquan Johnson, is now dead after the altercation.
They were trying to detain him. And in the midst of that, they told him to stop moving.
2 witnesses who asked to remain anonymous saw the events unfold from their windows, including the moment the Grand Rapids K-9.
Think about this. Think about how indoctrinated we are. The cops shot him. This isn't a gang war. Why does she have to be off camera? Why do the 2 witnesses need to be anonymous? You think you snitching? How much of a part do we play in how much people don't respect us? Who are apathetic toward us, don't give a damn about us. Willing to shoot us down more easily. Think about this shit for a second.
Was sent to subdue Johnson.
One of them couldn't get the dog to detach from him, so they both just stepped around and told him to stop moving, stop screaming while the dog was still latched and shot.
But how could he stop moving with this dog maliciously attacking him? They told him stop moving. They said that 2 times. They said, you're going to get yourself shot, and they shot him.
Although Silas Dean didn't see the altercation between Johnson and GRPD, his car now holds the memory of last night.
Sad to hear somebody get.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. That's the whole issue, right? How we see things, just broken.
Getting killed over here where we live and close to my car is not an enjoyable thought, someone dying right by your car, getting shot and whatnot.
He was friendly with his neighbor and knows his family is mourning.
Really sorry that it happened, and now the children's not going to have a father.
The shooting has left the neighbors on edge.
If I already have anxiety, I was just coming from the hospital, so it wasn't what I was expecting at all. My stomach was in more knots than it was before.
I'm scared for my kids. It's troubling that the people who are supposed to serve and protect us is killing us.
Those witnesses did say that officers went to the building and talked to witnesses about what they saw happen in that parking lot, Elena.
All right, Kelly, thank you. And we will continue to cover this police-involved shooting as that investigation continues. So be sure to stay with 13 Your Side, both on air and on 13yourside.com.
Stop reaching, man. You're gonna get shot. Hey, he's got a gun. He's got a gun in his hand. Let him go. Drop the gun. Drop the gun.
System.
Stop, please, hang on. Yes, that's all. The barrel pointed straight in my face.
Seen the barrel pointed straight in my face, right? Barrel pointed straight at my face, right? Obviously not, right? I'm just telling you, B. These people come from somebody. They see you in some way. How do they treat you? How do they view you? What's next? I understand the replies that I'm getting about the question I asked. Talking about the indoctrination, the mindset, the fact that we don't see police as a protective force, the fact that we almost can't, right? It takes so long to call the police because we think they ain't gonna do shit anyway. And then you see things like this to where they literally executed the man, had the dog on him. It's hard to say, is he resisting or is he getting bit up by a fucking dog? Literally, they said he has a gun on him, so they were chasing him down on his bike. He rides to where he lives. I think he probably has a record, so he don't want to get caught with the gun, right? And motherfuckers think they're gonna be able to jump off the bike and throw the gun. That shit don't never work. Cameras everywhere now. I don't know what his mindset was, but think about this. He's reaching, right? That's what they're saying. Listen to what he's saying. The second cop who gets there says, step back, step back. He already know he about to kill him. And he laying on his stomach. Did y'all hear that? He said, yo, step back, step back. He know he about to kill him. He know he about to shoot him. Right? Get your man clear so I can let this 22 off, this Glock 22 off. I'm just asking you, bro. They don't respect us, don't give a fuck about us. Right? They come from somebody. If you looked at as lower than, treated as such, assume that you the worst, stereotyped negatively, people don't care about you, don't think you got no power, and don't respect you, how do they treat you? It's easy to shoot a motherfucker that you don't care for, don't respect, and think is scum of the earth. I promise you. It's much easier to shoot that person. Thinkless. Yeah, the Savage, I think Dr. G had responded. Queen T. That's not lost on me. I'm just think about the mindset that we have. You see? I'm telling you, a lot of this shit did a number on us. And then we fighting wars on all fronts. Jamaicans, Haitians, people from the countries on the continent. We looked at his shit and pissed. They could literally plaster us negatively and we can't do shit about it and we ain't gonna do shit about it. And then we got other niggas saying, why you so sensitive? You don't tell the Anti-Defamation League that though. 2 beauty salons and a beauty store, 2 nail salons and a beauty store got tarnished and they came out with a Stop Asian Hate bill. They say, yo, during the Super Bowl, stop Jewish hate. What are you talking about? Why you even have commercials? And then they have the black guy come up when the Jewish guy in the commercial was getting teased in school. And the black guy comes up to coddle him and says, I understand. As though their plight is the same as our plight. You see? The imagery, the words that were used. Why does he understand? You really think it's similar? But you could play with niggas. Because we gotta fight each other before we get to you. Google niggers, right? In the notification they sent to the whole world. Niggers. Right? Learn more about niggers. That's what it said. Notification to the world. Trump campaign about the voting counting and all that. At the end of it, they forget to clip Michelle and Obama off from this ad about looking at them being monkeys from the Lion King. All right. TikTok, you can't say WHITE, but you can say black and you can't say nigga. I don't give a fuck about you, bro. They don't respect you. You heard? They don't care about you. They don't respect you. Yeah, you didn't see it, D Savage? I just showed it. All right, I think I might have put it down. All I'm saying is this, B. If you want to argue about the systematic racism not existing or not being impactful, all right, cool. All right, I'm just asking. When people don't love you, don't care about you, don't respect you, how do they treat you? How do you treat people that you don't respect? How do you treat people that you don't care about? And then when those people don't care about you, don't respect you, where do they work? What do they do for a living? Who do they come from? Who's their patrilineage? They said, Joe, the Ku Klux Klan I just showed y'all. We don't even got a reason. We just hate y'all just cuz. Every fucking body. He said, step back, step back. Oh, I shot him in the chest. How? Was he a fucking dog? That's why. Killed him, didn't call the dog off. Stopped resisting while the dog's shaking the shit out of him. I'm just asking, bro. What do these people do for a living, man? Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Let me pull this up. Forward up. Let me pull this up right here real quick, so I don't think everybody saw it. So I was
Tired. This is the worst Black History Month I have ever experienced in my entire life.
So this is kind of small on my end. Let me just do this. It's just in case you want to click on it yourself. So this is from the BAFTA thing, right? So the notification reads it's below her face, right? I just dropped the link in the chat if you want to look at it directly. It says how the Tourette's fallout unfolded at the BAFTA film. The Hollywood Reporter says, see more on niggers. That's what it reads. I just dropped that link in the chat. If you click on it, it should bring you to Instagram so you can see it for yourself. I don't know. Just asking, bro. How do people treat you when they don't love you, don't respect you, think you 3 degrees below fly shit, 360 degrees below fly shit? How do they treat you? Did y'all see it? I dropped the link. Right? Oh, Tourette's, it was an accident. No, that's your ideology. All right. You can say white. You can't say white. You can say nigga. You can say black. They don't respect you, man. You know, we say it all the time. Build your own, have your own. It's much easier said than done. Entrepreneurship is not easy. You got to work. People work, right? There's companies that are established. We go work for them. You know, I'm telling you, be cordial in the earth, but understand who it is that you're dealing with and stop or giving the wrong people the benefit of the doubt. That's it. Mr. Walker, salute. Mr. Walker in the building, salute my G. Been a member for 9 months. All right. Interesting comment. That's actually my point. Be prepared. Be fully prepared to pay the ultimate sacrifice and consequences if you're doing something wrong and the police catch you. You're right. Be prepared to die. You're right. I mean, I'm gonna drop the link real quick. We get it popping. Salute everybody. I got the tournament on Saturday, so I'm gonna be locked in from tomorrow going forward. If y'all pray for me. If you believe in luck, you could wish it. It's all good. I fight on ring 1. There's a live stream for it, and I'm fight 14. So it starts at 12. That'll probably be around maybe 2 o'clock or so. We'll see. We'll see, man. I'm trying to get pumped up because me and Fo supposed to rock out, but it's like that doing this type of show is kind of hard. Philando literally said it, AP. He literally said, yo, I have a firearm on me. They shoot past his daughter to shoot him. Got his girl in the front seat. But I guess the people will say, well, he should have never said he had a gun, right? It's hard. Yo, Savage. That's the thing, right? It's always about why did he run with the gun? Why did he do that with it? Right? I'm saying this with the people that we dealing with, bro, you might almost want to look at it that way. Walter Scott shot in the back. Eric Garner choked out for cigarettes. Right? You know, we talked about George Floyd and nauseum, Philando Castillo, right? Dubois in Cincinnati, although they tried to say, you know, whatever it was. The guy sleeping at the Wendy's parking lot when the cops was jumping him, then one of them killed him. You know? I'm just saying, Savage, that might be the best way to look at it, bro. A traffic stop can mean your life. A bike stop can mean your life. Sleeping in a parking lot can mean your life. Playing in a park as a kid can mean your life. Loud music can mean your life. Walking through a neighborhood can mean your life. They don't see you how they see them. When he see another white boy, he see him. What you think he see when he see you? How was he taught to see you? What's the propaganda about who you are and what you are and what you represent? Does he need to be safe than sorry? Are you more important than him getting home to his family? Think about that shit, bro. You can't hold court on the side of the road, but you can be executed there. Best believe that. You never, let me ask y'all a question. You ever been standing outside? Like with the fellas and all that? Jake run down on you? Or what y'all doing? This, and the third. You just chilling. Right? They be getting handsy, all types of weird shit. Cheek, what's goody?
Not much, dog. Ain't too much, too good, bro. I'm just waiting for you. I'm just waiting for your Republican conservative audience to come up and say, "Oh, you shouldn't be carrying no gun." That's what our Payne said, right?
I don't think they heard it.
Like that. Oh, of course they not.
What's up, Crimson? Salute. Yo, I don't think they hear today because you know I just hit the button, Cheek. So I ain't even, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, of course they're not here today, right? We just need somebody. We need to make it balanced. You know, people that hate black people versus the people that like them. It's just because these niggas gonna make an excuse. Like when I saw R-Pain on the rerun, because if I was live, I was there while I was live, I would have went up there. He compared the ICE to gang members. He said that's like carrying like the guy who had white guy, don't matter. But again, they just the rationalization of it all. It speaks to what you was talking about, which is the mentality. It's like, bro, what are you talking about? What are you saying right now?
So Cheek, AP, OG AP actually put something interesting in the chat. When you say conservative, like what's your breakdown?
Basically, people who like people who have a Republican, right? Because it's the best way to put it. Conservative is an ideology, Republican is a party.
Okay.
Most of the people that are conservative are Republican, and they make excuses for a lot of the shit that they see, and they don't accept facts very well. The issue is when you have it, when you're like that, you don't know how to be a critical thinker, which is why independent voters or independent parties, whatever the case may be, I fall into that category. If the facts say this, so be it, right? I don't know how many times you've been into the Discord or seen me have conversations on the panel about things, and then I just literally look it up and it don't say what they just said, and they don't know how to accept it because Trump or Republican Party, they make it a party thing and they don't use a lot of thinking, and they don't care about race or none of that shit because party overrides race, right? It's the same way, like, so the way it works is more than likely they Christian. Second, after they're Christian, they're Republican. Then after being Republican, they black. And that's barely. They don't really like being black. That like they just accept it as it is what it is.
Okay.
But those are the two. That's how they identify, right? That's how they prioritize their identity. I'm a Christian first, Republican second, and then I'm black because my skin is black, and that's just a byproduct of my mother and father giving me the phenotypes, not because that means anything to them in most cases. So what you'll see is them make excuses, not accept the facts, right? They always talk about voter fraud and all that bullshit, and then when you look it up, it's like that shit don't really happen. It didn't really affect much, right? The minimal cases, whatever they say, you look it up, and then you find out that shit really not that true. True at all. And then they make excuses for a lot of the black things that happen, right? So for example, I'm sure if a Republican came up here, they'd be like, well, why did he run? Like you were saying, well, he had a gun. Why would you have a gun on you as a citizen in the United States? You mean, why would I do that? Why would I have a Second Amendment right that you guys always claim to have? And they don't care about shit.
No, they did say, Cheek, that he's a felon. So he shouldn't have had a gun, I guess.
Right. Just like when the perfect example is George Floyd also, what they say about him, he was a crackhead, this, that, and the third, right?
Yes.
But in the official case, Derek Chauvin was murdered him. That's the official case, right? We talk about objective facts, and facts don't care about your feelings. Based on autopsy and everything else, that man died not from an overdose, although they keep repeating it. And although they keep lying about it, when you look at the facts, he died because of a direct asphyxiation due to it being on his neck. Ahmaud Arbery, they're going to find, why was he running? Why is he going through random people's house? Why is he? Although he was running, there's no evidence of any of those things. Those white men shot and killed him, and if it didn't get out to the public, they would have got off scot-free based off of it being that case being pending for such a good little minute. They don't care. So the same people you say don't care about you, neither do they. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck so much that it doesn't matter if you speak facts. They say all of that shit and it don't matter. Because when you give them the facts and you just honest about it, like, hey, this is just the truth of the matter, they don't concede on shit. Nah, you're liberal. No, I'm not. I'm just fact-based.
Yeah, why do they call you liberal so much?
Because I don't agree with them, right? They'll call me liberal, but my entire life in the way that I've lived it has been conservative. They are so, what is audience capture, brainwashed, non-critical thinkers. I don't know what else to call it. They're not very bright. is the best way to put it. Even Trump himself says, I love the uneducated because those are the people that vote for him because they don't care about facts. They don't care about none of the shit they be talking about. And I thought they were principled people. That's why I agreed with them a lot early on till I saw Trump. But they call me a liberal because I don't agree with them. And I can point out something like, hey, that's not true according to this.
Yeah, because I hear it. I see it often that happens. And see, what I was talking about was, hey, have a... Okay, AP. Because I don't know if you was hearing what I was saying. I'm like, yo, don't be foolish.
Right.
Properly identify things, right? Say what it is and what it isn't. And these people come from somewhere. And if the propaganda is about you is negative, you can assume they have a negative outlook upon you. And if profiling is okay, you can fit the description.
And that's just a common sense way of looking at it, right?
Yeah.
How many times have we had to have these conversations in Discord or just on a panel? Hey, institutional racism, while it may not, like you explained earlier in this conversation, it may have dropped or it may have dissipated in a way it wasn't as blatant. But if we see in plain sight things like Donald Trump using imagery to put Obama and his wife as chimps, and the first thing you want to do is go, he's just joking, as if that's a joking matter.
Yeah.
Why? Because that's your boy. That's that again, they don't think about things in this objective way. They think in a very hive mind gang this versus that's they're not very critical thinking, unfortunately. And then when you have somebody that is critical, like, hey, I don't have to agree with liberals to know that shit ain't right. And he wasn't joking, because how many times have you posted obscene or crazy thing? That's just who he is, and that's why he got voted in, because he wasn't a politician and did it the political way. Now you're seeing the outcomes of not voting for a politician and going, he's just joking. Every single time they say he's just joking, there's been a terrible backlash, whether it be economically, socially, or internationally. It's always been bad. You remember when you were saying, I think it was last month, you said we're supposed to be getting federal, what was it? You were saying we was getting the interest rate supposed to lower. That didn't happen. Why?
Yeah, why didn't it? I don't know.
Because it would have been a burden on the economy. And so when you have somebody inside of politics that knows what they're doing, the first thing that person does is reject the idea, we're not going to lower interest rates. We're in a stagflation. That's going to ruin the economy. You're not going to see that happen. And that's not even me. That's economists saying that. And if you look this stuff up, it's not a left or right. They're saying these are the things that's happening. Our economy is being sustained by the top 1%. We have a piss poor functioning economy where the richest is spending the most money and the middle to lower class aren't spending much at all. And that's not good for the economy. That's just a fact. But if I say that, it's because I'm a liberal, not because that's just a fact.
Okay. Let me because OGAP said that he's a conservative, so he wanted to maybe mine that through. I just got one super chat to read, AP, and then you got the floor. Rainbow with the 10 ounce says Akai Gurley got shot by an Asian cop. Asians protested for the cop because they felt he should get off for the murder of a black person like white cops do. Let that sink in. Nobody cares about us. AP, what's popping?
What's going on? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Well, too. We hear you very well.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be too loud.
No, you're good. You're good.
So, Cheeky, it's unfortunate that you haven't met too many conservatives that can look at things from an objective lens. So, I actually agreed with a lot of what you just said, except that I can see injustice as well. Like from the video, and I'm the kind of guy that likes to wait until all of the evidence is in before I make an opinion. And there's only been 2 cases so far where I've made an opinion prior to the facts being in. Like, for example, the Rittenhour dude, I think he's a stone cold murderer. That's just the way I look at it. And the Philando Castile, what else could he have done? What the hell else could he have done aside from not say anything and then let a cop find it on you? Come on, man. Like, my boy did everything right from what I could tell. Aside from those two cases, I like to wait for the evidence to be in. So when I push back preliminarily, it is one of those where I look at it from, what do we really know? Have we seen every angle, or is somebody manipulating the conversation to shape public opinion? And that's the way I've looked at any one of those cases. Because I figured out probably about 3 years ago that Black folks aren't willing to do what's necessary to achieve a goal that I think we I don't want to say complain about, but one that I think is a reasonable solution according to the rules that they, and I'm putting quotes around they, that they play. But that doesn't change the fact that I'm extremely conservative. I don't think I wouldn't consider myself a Trump type of conservative. I've lived conservative. I don't believe in, or I don't agree with much of the liberal agenda. So that's what I was trying to sort through. Like, bro, to make a blanket statement like that is to, you know, all Black folks in the projects are niggas and ain't worth shit. Like, it's the same kind of statement to me.
Okay, so maybe I should clarify, right? Because there are never Trumpers Republicans, which I still maintain respect for, because they understand what type of person this man was or has been as far as a leader and a president, and they looking at things objectively, right? I'm speaking to the common conservative, the people that we've had representing our Senate, representing our judicial, our Supreme Court justices, who've just let this man do things without any pushback. Right, these same people just years before he got voted in spoke very badly about him, including his own vice president, saying he was authoritarian. Now allow this man to do whatever he want and find ways to make excuses for that. Right, I'm speaking on those conservatives, and that seems to be the majority. You are the minority if you are a never Trumper in today's political climate. And I respect that, because that means you're standing on some type of principle like family values, which I thought we all cared about, right? I thought we cared if a man had multiple baby mamas and had sex with a porn star using his funds. I thought that would have set all the Republicans off that I've ever known, because that's what I grew up knowing. Mitt Romney and all of these other people, Ted Cruz before he started being a dick sucker for Trump. Like this, I'm naming names that people at one point thought would have been a good choice because they actually believed in the principles and morals that they were talking about, from family values, Second Amendment, freedom, First Amendment speech. But these people, you're a lone wolf. Unfortunately, that's just the truth of the matter. If you are a Republican today, you don't care about what Donald Trump's doing. You're all for it. And let a Democrat do it, you're going to cry about it. Not you specific, but I'm speaking to who it may concern.
So when I hear that, though, and I know Hamp didn't want to make this political, but when I hear that, I also think before he was, and I'm putting quotes around the word racist, before he was a racist, he was in major rap songs and movies. So using that same exact logic, you thought that those people would be against him, but why aren't Black people for him? I mean, using the same exact logic. Because suddenly he became racist when he ran for president, or was he always racist? And if he was always racist, why was he being mentioned in music and TV like he was special?
It's the same reason why Black people will say that Tommy Hilfiger said something racist toward Black people, but they don't have any evidence of it. If you don't know what you don't know, one, and then two, nobody knows the history of Trump like that. Nobody cares about the political stance. Nobody reads books or even fact check what they think. His racism is not anything foreign, but if all you know him for is him cameoing in Home Alone and being on The Apprentice, and that's your limited understanding of him because you don't do any additional research, And of course I can understand why I think he's a cool guy. But the microscope has never been on him. And now that it is on him, a lot of people are noticing, hey, wait a minute, we didn't notice about him. Just like you can quote unquote say you know somebody, but yeah. Go ahead.
It's hard for me to follow that point when the New York Times, one of the biggest papers in New York, he did a full page spread on the Central Park Five. So we can't say that you don't know him when that was what, 89? I forget the date. I forget the year. So it was before all of that, and I'm not trying to defend the guy because that's what it fucking sounds like, and I refuse to defend this dude. But like we oftentimes talk out of both sides, and we follow people. Actually, I think I'm about to prove your point. We follow people without knowing all of the facts, and like, yo,
I agree.
So,
which is why so many politicians can get away with doing things like making promises that they can't keep, because the people who are voting typically aren't the most informed voter, unfortunately. So that means that the people that are getting into office, not enough people are doing a deep dive or research into the person that they're doing, their policies, understanding what that means for them as an individual or what it means for people as a whole. When you hear mass deportation and you vote and I will vote for Donald Trump, it lets me know you don't know what the fuck mass deportations is. Your ass gonna go too. And it has nothing to do with liberal, it has nothing to do with liberal or conservative. You just don't know what you're doing. If you voted for Donald Trump as a person who isn't a citizen, and you know your time is ticking, that's on you. This is not a liberal take. This just makes sense.
If you weren't a citizen, you weren't able to vote for or against Donald Trump, because a general election, you can't, like, it shouldn't even be on your ballot.
I agree.
I get what you're
saying, but what I'm saying is the support was there. These people,
it is there.
It was there. That's the point. That's all I'm saying is you don't have to be a legal immigrant, you don't have to be a legal immigrant or legal whatever to show support for Donald Trump. Many of people were not legal, showed support for Donald Trump, and then and this year we're seeing TikToks, social media. I am getting deported. Well, duh, nigga. We said mass deportations, that includes you, but you don't know shit. You didn't care to look. You didn't care to research. When Project 2025 came out and people kept trying to warn you about it, you didn't look into it. You didn't read into it. You didn't do anything. You just said, I support him because I know him. He was on Home Alone and he was The Apprentice and he knows business because he's a businessman. And when you look at his business, he fails at that too. You don't know they don't know. They're just ignorant. And because they're ignorant, they do things or have actions that they take, and it tends to bite them in the ass because of their ignorance. So I say black people, like in Donald Trump, just proves you're ignorant to his ideology or who he is. And while that may have been in the Times, what is a common stereotype? Niggas, nobody read Times. Nobody reads shit. They don't even read the captions underneath the posts.
Oh, well, I can't speak to that, considering back then reading was really the only way you could get, well, shit, even now, but back then there wasn't an internet to really help you out. But, and I want to go full disclosure because I'm on record. I didn't vote for Donald Trump on his first two runs. I did vote for him knowing exactly what we would get this last time. So I just want to go on record so it doesn't appear that I'm talking both sides. So I wanted to be on record to say that, since we're on a live stream. But again, I knew exactly what we would get, and where we are is exactly what we're getting. Ain't that some shit?
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of.
But that was the major my major question, because I'd like to think that I'm able to look at just about any situation from an objective perspective and say, okay, why did this happen? Like I think Hamp already laid it out with the videos we just watched. Dude was a felon, fleeing from the police on a bicycle. Thought he could probably even get into the house before they caught up with him, so he could get the gun off of him. I'm willing to bet he probably wouldn't have ran had he not had the gun on him. I didn't see there was no indication to me that he pointed it at the cops, because it's very difficult when you're laying on your stomach. I mean, I guess I could push it out the side maybe, but that to me, what I see on video, I see a murder on video. That's what I saw. Now, when more evidence comes out, my opinion is subject to change.
Okay, well,
And I reserve that right.
Yeah, and if that's your stance, so be it. We just have to see if that is the stance, right? Because you're not the only person that says that. I'm not saying I don't believe you, but I'm just so used to having these conversations, especially about Black Death, where the same exact people, same exact ideology will say, if I see more, I'm willing to change, and they still are calling George Floyd overdose kill. They're still saying that today.
I don't know how you can say that.
Well, I do.
The court played like it. All of the evidence was there to suggest asphyxiation, and if that's the case, he was murdered by Chauvin. It's pretty cut and dry. Me again, I reserved when that happened, I never even came out about it because I'm an evidence-based person. Let me see it. Let me see what the evidence says. Oh, and I believe one of you guys mentioned Ahmaud Arbery earlier. Yeah. That was another one I came out real early on before anything was published. First of all, I was working with a coach, because I coached high school football at the time, who actually knew the kid. And when you're watching that video, you're like, why would y'all effing with this dude? Y'all have no authority, no power. Okay, I see what this is. And I don't want to get Hamp show in trouble, but I see what this is. And I'll leave that at that.
Yeah. Interesting. I read this one, yes. See, Rob with the 20 ball says, great topic. We need more Black police officers.
Perfect. Like that.
Hey, man. I don't know, man. I just felt that I had to kind of cover this. And AP usually is logical, like basically all the time, just processing of information. And it's just that it be Captain Obvious and then it be Captain Oblivious, that'll come, right? When you just see it for what it is. And I don't think it'll take away from your status if you just say, hey, based on what I perceived, that's wrong. That's right. That's what this is, but we have a difficulty with that for sure. I'm just saying to ignore the behavior and where these people come from and what the possibilities and probabilities you could be subject to this type of treatment just because of who they perceive you to be. To ignore that is willfully obtuse, and I think you do yourself a disservice. That shit just.
I got a question along those lines, then, Hamp, if I may. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, I'm done.
But using that same logic, is their opinion of us valid then? We shoot each other. We're thugs. We rob people because that's what that's what you see. When you look at the stats, it's us killing us and us acting out of line in certain places. So would their perspective, is there some validity to their perspective then? I'm just curious.
I think based on that criminal demographic, if you assess the criminal demographic in regards to particular crimes, then we have an overrepresentation there, right? Predicating how you see us based on the criminal demographic, which is nominal in comparison to majority of black people, I think that's where the propaganda becomes, right? But if you assess the criminal demographic and you assess violent crimes, even though rape and stuff like that is taken out of the violent crime metric, then you have to say, okay, I can see how black people overrepresent in these violent crimes, although it's 10,000 black people doing the crime and there's 44 million of them. You see, that's not parsed out. And so now if they see us as criminals, the perception is reality. So it becomes valid because of how people will see you and then treat you. Like people say, as an example, AP, God doesn't exist, like atheists and all that stuff, right? What people are doing in his name make them real enough, right? They're like, prove God exists because of what people are willing to do, because of what people did during the Crusades. That's how you can say God is real, because what people are willing to do in his name. So that's how I process it out, whether it's actual about us, how we're viewed is how we're actually going to be treated.
So I guess the real question should be, how do they view themselves, right? Because for every quote unquote criminal or violent black thug, there's a child predator.
They view themselves as benevolent.
Right. And so it's not a question about how they perceive us, it's about how they see themselves. Ain't got shit to do with us, because their justification is just cause. It has nothing to do with us. It has everything to do with them and how they see themselves and how they see the world. There's nothing I can do, right, except fight propaganda with propaganda. That means every white man that come up here, we need to start calling them predators, because based on the statistics, that they overrepresent all of that. They are child rapists. They are rapists, and then they're everything sexually deviant when it comes to underage people and women. So what we need to start doing every time a white man come on this panel, I guess to combat the narrative, is go, hey, fucking rapist, how you doing today? But would that be right? Now, this is where you see black people in that you gotta forgive and let go. No, either we're going to start doing this the way they do shit, right, to combat a narrative that really applies to them, or we're just gonna let shit slide. Every time a white man come up here or white woman come, no, we're gonna go white man, right? We're gonna find something different for white women. We're gonna call them something different. But white men, every time a white man come up here, we should call him a child predator, right? Because based on the statistics that we looked up and gave, they fit the bill. That whole 13% and 50% of crime shit, the violent crime, that's false. We looked it up. But we know what isn't false. Most of the people that's going to jail or get involved or are in jail for any sexual situation with a minor or any sexual deviant behavior, it's white. So we need to start doing that now, right? Is that right? Is that okay? Can we agree to that?
I'm the kind of guy that likes to hold up a mirror, right? So let's just say I accept that premise, and I wouldn't actually have a problem with it. But the problem is, let's go ahead and take that mirror, flip it, turn it us, and oh crap, I'm gonna call it, and say, why, if we're gonna look at it from how they view themselves, then shouldn't we flip it and say how we view ourselves? We call each other N-words, and women call each other B's, and sometimes we can act out. So if we're gonna do that, then let's go ahead and flip the mirror back on ourselves, because what they typically do, they outcast the degeneracy in their own people.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. They highly separate themselves. Don't call me a predator. That's not what I do. That would be Jim, and I'm not like Jim. They will 1,000% separate themselves from the most degenerate of their class. They don't go around calling each other peckwoods and rednecks. They don't do that. We do.
Yeah, they do.
They call a segment of their people that, yes, but the people that I'm around would never say or refer to someone of their own standing as a negative word from their own class. They don't do that. Meanwhile, I don't typically use the N word, but meanwhile, I can say, "Hey, my nigga Chicky, what's good with you?" You'll never hear them say, "Oh, my redneck, what's good with you, bro?" Unless you're in Oklahoma.
They call each other bastards and all kind of shit.
So,
see, you talking to somebody that's been around white people and black people,
bro.
They had the same thing. They may not say nigga, but they call them, "Oh, what's up, you bastard?" Like, what the fuck is honorable about being a bastard? And not only that, we can't say they are so willing to disassociate themselves. But look at the people in the Epstein file. If they so willing to do it, then why we got a whole file with their names all over?
There's a reason why they tried to hide it, though. There's a reason why they tried to hide it. They don't want their names associated with that. That's the reason they hide it. We don't.
Okay, so the same thing would apply. We differentiate ourselves as well. We don't be like all of us are thugs. Matter of fact, there's a famous skit. There's a difference between black people and what?
Niggas, Chris Rock.
No,
Also, we've allowed people who have been the most violent and perverse to just define everything, right? And now we have to have a conversation about the word nigga, right? No matter how many times we edified you guys on the actual origin, we let their perversion rule the day, right? And then we let their propaganda rule the night. And we let them plaster us on the big screen, and now we got to have a conversation about what we call each other nigga, right? Think about the people and the agenda behind why they doing the things, right? The Klan member said they don't need a reason to hate us; they just do.
That's literally what he said. It don't matter what we do.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's not like, well, we doing it. No, he said it don't matter. You see, like Cheeky's just saying simply, if they call us shooter, killer, gorilla, right? They would have to wear the pedophilia mantra if it's strictly based on arrests. They would have to wear the rapist mantra if it's strictly based on arrests, right? That's just, he's just saying keep the logic consistent. I remember one time I told this story, AP. I have a house in District Heights, right? There's no white people that live over there, right? And I'm not being hyperbolic. This white dude is walking down the street, right? I got little kids. I'm like, yo, what you doing out here? Why are you over here? Where's your car? You look disheveled. You know what I mean? I don't know what he doing, but I don't know white people live over here. Yo, you got to get up out of here. Motherfucker was telling me I was wrong. I'm just keeping it consistent.
No, you were absolutely right.
Wait, hold on, Hamp. The people that was telling you that you were wrong, just out of curiosity, what did they look like?
Me.
Of
He
course,
said, why
right?
he can't walk? What you mean? Why he can't walk? He don't live here, right? It's my neighborhood.
Yeah. No, I believe you're well within your. I won't even say right. I think you're smart to like, hey, yo, bro, what you doing over here? Our kids come up missing.
Yeah, he fit the
We ain't the
description.
ones
Right?
stealing kids.
And AP, exactly. I'm just being consistent about the stereotype behind him.
He fit the description.
Yeah.
We got a call. We got an Amber Alert, and we already know the nigga on the Amber Alert
Based on the
probably
arrest record,
white.
based on the statistic.
He white. So
come
on, bro.
And let me just do this
again,
real quick.
like I wasn't. Okay.
Go ahead, AP. Go ahead, AP.
Oh no, and I wasn't disagreeing with Cheeky's premise, but the one thing that I don't do until my ass is clean, I'm not gonna tell somebody else they need to clean their shit up. Like until I can get our shit right, I'm gonna flip the mirror and say, hey, we can have everything that we want according to even their rules if we were who we think we are. But nobody's willing to do what I think, and I'm pretty sure would work, is necessary. And without getting into too much detail, there's never mind. Go ahead.
AP, this is the part, right? Let me just take myself as an anecdotal example. All that, right? So same thing. When I used to live out there, because we throw a lot of trash on the street. I go out there with my 2 oldest daughters, pick up trash, right? Next to the liquor store where all the brothers is always hanging out at, right? Guess what they start doing when they see me with these 2 little girls? Picking up the trash and shit, right? But also, my wife can't go to the corner store because I know how niggas be acting when they get drunk, they get stupid and all that, you see? And when I go to the corner store, I got the hammer on me too.
Yes, sir.
You see, so I'm cognizant of all the things that are being said, the propaganda, the activity, right? The foolishness. I'm just saying, yeah, that white boy got it too. So I'm not oblivious to what you're saying. You see, we need to change the modus operandi and conduct. But it's not mutually exclusive. See, we always make everything mutually exclusive. If we talk about them, we got to talk about us. Now we talking about them, about what we talking about, right? Police brutality and violence is not mutually exclusive with gang violence, right? But we always put them together and we have to converse about them both at the same time. No, these are 2 very stark and different things about, and they need to be addressed in different ways. You know what I mean? So,
I don't know. My
you breaking up? You breaking up for you? AP, you broke up a little bit. What he saying? AP, you broke up. We heard you say fuck something, but then we missed the rest.
Sorry, I'm driving through the mountains. Yeah, I'm driving.
Good.
No, when you mentioned gangs, when I mentioned gangs, all I said was, shit, I see the cops as a gang.
Oh yeah, that's what they were saying in the chat.
I don't put nothing past them.
They were saying that in the chat to me, like, yeah.
But listen to what we're saying.
They just another gang.
We're saying government official or government authority and officials are equivalent to gangs, right? 2, we're trying to hold ourselves to a standard that they don't even hold. You're saying we should clean up our mess before we start talking about them as if they're perfect, right? We need to start having a real conversation about the white community and their sexual predator issue that they have. That would include women too, actually, right? And we start thinking about the teachers that's preying on the little boys. What's wrong with white people and their sexual deviancy? Let's have that conversation, right? Since they like to talk about the 1350, okay, let's talk about you fucking deviant sexual bitches. How about that? And then we can have a conversation about how important it is for us to change after we talk about that. Let's talk about how you like touching little boys and little girls. Why is it that they always have the way or have the leverage on propaganda and what we should be talking about when we know for a fact you're fucked up? How about this? Why don't we talk about Christians? Let's include them too. You fucking Catholics. Why is it that, like what Sherelle was saying, why is it that they have a sexual hotline on churches that y'all quote unquote Christians supposed to be a part of, and that's predominantly white? Let's talk about that. But every single time it comes down to black people, well, I think we should just talk about. No, we shouldn't. What standard is that? Why is it always black people got to be the ones to uphold and uplift? Y'all shouldn't be mad about the N-word. It's just a word. Yeah, nigga, we humans. And that shit is offensive. And why we always the one on defense? Nah, let's start going on the offense. Hey, you fucking predator. Hey, predator. Every time you see a white man, what's up, predator? How many kids you touched today? Start making those kind of jokes. All the race. How much watermelon you ate? How much dick you suck from a little kid, you fucking predator? But we don't want to do that because it's not right. Come on, bro. What standard are we talking about? They don't have a standard to hold us to because they don't stand by any standard themselves.
I'm not talking about that. I would never talk about this. So here's the thing. I'm gonna be wholly transparent. I don't know enough about what the fuck they doing when I'm worried about what the fuck we doing or aren't doing. So like if I go to and I'm not saying your house is a mess, but if I go to Cheeky's house, I'm like, damn, you nasty mother. Meanwhile, at my house, the trash ain't been took out in 5 weeks. I'm just not built to be hypocritical that way. Like shit, I can't say nothing about this nigga shit. See what I'm saying?
So if
Like
that's
that's
the
just the way
case,
I view it. If I'm about progressing black people forward, to the hell with what they doing. What they doing, what does that have to do with me if, and this is the caveat that we have to struggle with as black folks in America, if we're following their rules.
here's the issue that I'm having with what you just said. When you first had this conversation, or the way we even got here was, well, if we're showing that, do they have a point? It's validating. That question.
That's not what I
is
said. I said flip the mirror.
Go back. No. I'm gonna go back to how we got here. I know exactly.
Okay,
how
I see. That's me. Go ahead.
We got here from you starting off with, if that's what they see and that's what we're doing, are they wrong? And that's the point. We always have to do this thing where they go, are they wrong? We can't ever stay on topic. It's very similar to when we have women topics on women can't stay on topic. Whenever we have topics on men can't stay on topic. Whenever we have topics on white people, black people come the fuck up. It's so insane.
So let's follow that through, because I haven't disagreed with you yet. Not once have I fully disagreed with you. Like the stats show, they are the rapists. I don't know if there's a different word we're supposed to use on YouTube. They are the pedos. They are the most egregious human. Like the most egregious stuff belongs to them. Now that we agree, what do we do? What do we do about their community from our perspective?
No,
Call
see,
them. That's what I'm just trying to understand. I'm sorry.
AP, people don't really know and understand these things, right? They ignore a whole lot of history. They say we got to be thankful that white people allow and done this, that, and the third. I'm telling you, there's a lot of provocation, right? There's a lot of dissension being sold by us not understanding who it is that we dealing with and around, right? And I also slightly have disdain for when people say, okay, so now what? What's the solution, right? But we talk about many topics ad nauseum, right? I've been on the internet for 3 years, right? And we rehash conversations. I don't really understand why people say, let's expedite to the end when we're not even finished conversing. Like, for instance, do you know the origin of the word nigger?
It actually origins in Africa, and when you get down to the root of it, NGR and NGYR, we're talking about African royalty, if we're getting to the root of what the word is.
Okay. And then biblically speaking, right, it means black. Right? And then when it's pronounced in the Bible, Niger, how do you think it's pronounced? It's not pronounced Niger. Niger is a country that's only 70 years old. The Bible's 5,000 years old, so it can't be from that, right? But it's like people are saying, what next? And they don't even know what is and what was, right? Like, did you know that the word nigger was in the Bible?
You're asking me? I don't know if that rhetorically or you're asking?
Well, I'm asking, but it's also people watching, right? So I'm kind of asking for both.
Oh, okay. So to answer the question, no, I did not realize the word was in the Bible. However, I do know the African roots to it because I did a full paper on it back my sophomore year of college. So
yeah, and think about what you're saying when you did your research, right? Why wouldn't we adopt the origin of it. Why do we allow the perversion to prevail? You see? But it's like we can't even see you and I can talk like, damn, that might make sense. But instead we allow them to rule the day. So we can't get to a solution when we don't even understand the past. Right. So like let me show that, and this is for everybody, AP. You my OG, you know what I mean? We just talking about, I'm just making sure people understand this, right? So here's the word, right? Niger, right? And then just listen to the pronunciation, right?
Strong's G 3526. Niger. Niger.
Right? Because people will be like, oh, it's Niger, right? But that is the pronunciation of said word, right? And it's used in Acts 13:1. Nigger means black, right? I'll put this link in the chat so you guys can just make sure you have the actual reference for yourself.
This man pulled out the blue letter Bible. You a concordance ass. It's only a couple people that know about
Hamp,
that.
I actually appreciate that.
Yeah. No. And so it just says and it's referring to Simon in this particular time, right? Who was called nigger. In Acts 13:1. Just go ahead and read it, right? You know. So when we
I'm
adopted,
gonna look into that. That's good.
yes, sir.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I'll put it. And no, you're good. And so I'm just saying, like, we're saying, like, what now? No, we still here. We still learning. We still understanding. You know, like people really and truly believe that we have the monopoly on violence, right? Because they don't understand history. They don't know history, right? They ignore several things that have happened. They allow people to say Emmett Till was a psyop. You know, and it's just like, how can you actually move forward if those things aren't concrete in our minds? See?
So when I ask that, right, I'm
sir.
saying I'm looking at it from the perspective of what can we do to them to get them to recognize and identify that about themselves. We'll never get them to ever say that they that they're the best at genocide, even though we know they are the best at genocide. We'll never get them. We'll never hear them say that. They'll never admit to it. So I look at it from the perspective: if I can't change your mind, if I can't get you to see what is, what good is it of me to have the conversation about you being a piece of shit when you will never see yourself as a piece of shit, regardless of what evidence is put in front of you. So when I say what now, that's the respect I'm looking at it from. Like,
I'm gonna tell you
shit,
why.
I can't. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because we do it with the women. Till we're blue in the face, we talk to them over and over and over and over and over and over again until they get it, right? Until they at the very least make a concession or understand where it is that we coming from. They do it with us. The women do it to the men. We need you to understand that this is how you present, this is how you treated us. And until you understand it, we can't move forward. Black people don't see white people for what they are overwhelmingly, right? You can acknowledge the cons and the pros, but we continue to ignore the cons. So people need edification to where they say, okay, I have a full picture. Now I can make a proper determination. Now I can move forward. But people who are ignorant moving forward, their eyes are eyes wide shut. And here's what happens, right? The women will say the same thing, right? That the white men say, but we accept it from the white men. Think about that. Shooter, killer, gorilla nigga. White boy said it. What's that boy that got his neck shot off?
Charlie Kirk.
Right? He'd say it. We'll say, is he wrong? Black women say it. Well, no, that's, you see, we got a conflict. Why do we put him on a pedestal? And here's the thing, AP. Here's my overarching message. Be cool, be cordial, be polite, be responsible, be kind in the earth. right? If my movers are working with whomever, all my guys are black, right? But if we working with white boys, Latino, everybody get water. Everybody help wrap. Everybody help pick up the shit. If somebody fall, I'm gonna pick them up. I don't care. Blue, black, purple, it don't matter, right? Be kind and cordial in the earth because you got to get along, right? We live in America. But that don't mean you can't identify people for what they are and who they are and where they come from. But a lot of us don't even have this knowledge base, you know? So, my bad, I'm talking a lot.
It can't. I'm about to say statements that I know better than, which is why I'm pausing, because a lot of that I agree with you on a lot of it. It's just difficult for me to comprehend how it would be a majority of us that wouldn't have this information, this knowledge, at least a basic understanding of what we're dealing with and who we're dealing with.
I'm glad you prefaced it with "I know better." I'm glad because you know, because it is astounding, yo. Like even if you do the geographical thing, right? AP, like when they say Jesus, even if you just do the geographical, what color is he, right? There's no way you come up with white geographically, right? So just no way, right? If we just keep it like that, like scientific or some shit, right? My daughter, we somewhere, where was we at? Like about to play or something. And she like, Dad, what's that? It was the white Jesus on the cross. She's like, Jesus is black, Dad. What he's doing up there? I'm like, yeah, they da. She like, okay, went to play her game. She just thought it was stupid. Like, what the fuck is he black? Like, and she just went on about her business because she edified. How many kids gonna have that reaction?
Woo! Shit, I'm gonna run that by my college age kids just to see the reaction I get.
Yeah, bro.
Damn, I feel like I failed suddenly.
Yo, man, it's real, man. We are man, we are like the heroes don't look like us, man. You know, when the kids were in DC, you know, it's 99% black, so you actually get a Fred Hampton during Black History Month. You know, you get a Medgar Evers during Black History Month. It's not just Martin, you know, which is predominant, right? It's not just Rosa, the more, right? Like they know the names Denmark Vesey, Gabriel Prosser, right?
Hold on,
Salem
wait.
Ford. Yeah.
I need some clarity.
Yes,
You
sir.
mean to tell me there are more black heroes than Martin Luther King Jr.?
Surprisingly, yes.
That was anybody out there in the chat? I was joking.
Yeah, no, I got you. They'll be all right.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah, but when you grow up in a place, right, and the heroes look like you, I think the outcomes are different as well. You have something to aspire. Like Benjamin Banneker High School is a top high school, right? And then who is Benjamin Banneker? You know, like you know about all these people because you grow up enthralled and immersed in the culture, right? So you have more opportunities. And then think about those kids' mentality as opposed to the ones where George Washington is the man and Abraham Lincoln and all, you know, it just right. And I'm not saying don't acknowledge if those men did great things, you know, by grace of the Most High. But imagine if you know who Fred Hampton is at 12 years old. You know,
and I'm gonna have to hop off of here in just a split second, but I want to say this real quick.
Yes, sir.
So I was joking just a moment ago when I was talking about I failed, you know, because this is what I had my daughter do for her high school graduation gift. I made her do 5 PowerPoints.
Okay.
The PowerPoint were explain Opelousas, explain Tulsa. And I gave her 5. Oh man! First of all, I want to say she did a phenomenal job. I ended up giving her a lot more than what I originally intended, because she was like, "What was that for?"
Yeah,
Baby girl, that's so you know who you're dealing with, and that's what it's about to me. If we can educate that group, I think we will be further along. And this is where I agree with both you and Cheeky. We can't ignore what has ignore the past. We can't ignore what still happens because of that past. And lastly, we need to drop that fear that they have put inside of us through history. And I think that's the biggest thing preventing us from continuing to rise higher, to continue to elevate. It is the fear that they will take it away. And the second part of that is, when we do rise, we can't be afraid to show somebody else how to climb that ladder. So oftentimes, in my opinion, we will not bring the other person with us. Meanwhile, we don't understand that that's exactly how they fucking did it.
Yeah. 100%, bro. 100%, OG. Lift as
But
we
I
come.
appreciate
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate you bringing me up. I'm gonna drop off because I need to get gas. But I really appreciate you bringing me up for this particular topic. And
Yeah,
Cheeky, I appreciate you having the conversation as well, sir.
Of course, man.
OG AP, be safe, man. Always good to see you. Yeah, man. I think it's important, right? And I think the one thing that I would ask, right, from our viewership is, like, we talk about a plethora of topics, right? Including these, And so the topic may not be self-serving, right? But it's a topic at hand about what we're witnessing. And I hope y'all saw the things I went through in the message I'm trying to convey. Just think about people's ideology. Shit, listen to mine. Listen to Cheeky's. If you think I'm racist, then just be consistent based on people's actions and what they say. Right? To keep it real means don't ignore any of the potential outcomes or the people sitting across from you. Y'all know I know everybody racist. I ain't tripping. but while knowing that, that's how you move in the earth in a particular way. Somebody had put in the chat, Cheek, do I carry the hammer in white neighborhoods? Of course.
That's I don't know why we.
But
I don't
so
understand.
what do you mean?
What?
Right? Like, yeah. Foolish
If
thing.
he just showed us these videos of white people doing white people shit, I would need my hammer because it's white people too. It's like the message you try to give is going straight over. I can't believe it. It's like it's a very clear message to me. It's like, hey, I'm not saying let's be, Malcolm X, super Black Panther, but let's not be obtuse about this, right? There's just trying to strike the message of we know where we're at. We know how we view on a social level, on an economic level, on every level. The only thing we have to do is better prepare ourselves for that. But even in you trying to give that message, we can't stay on topic because just like when men have conversations about men, they can't do it in women. Because I don't know what it is, Hamp. I don't know if it's white superiority. I don't know what it is. It's very clear to me what you're saying. But somehow we can't stay on topic. We can't. It's always, well, let's look at the Black community. Why are we proving them right? Why are we worried about what they're saying when they got fucked up shit? Why do we ever have these conversations and not face the same pushback they do? If you go to an anti-Black chat or whatever the case may be, you will not see anybody go, well, why y'all talking about black people? They all understand what's going on and they're okay with it. You know what I think it is? I think it's the slave Bible. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
How Christianity for black people was very unique in the sense of, taught, for Christians to be. I think it's the slave Bible. I think that mentality has shifted over generation because that's been a message we've always preached is repentance. Yes.
Look at that. Right?
Yes.
I don't know if you can see the religious instructions.
Yes, I read that book. So in that book, he was talking about how the Negroes are just uncivilized, they immoral because they had polygamy and all of that. And then they're the same people that was chopping people's legs off, eating people, turning people into chairs. And he's talking about the immorality of people because of the culture that they come from.
Look at this, right? Yo, real shit. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Hold on.
That book is very revealing. That James Coco, I have a whole song about that because this nigga is just reading is fundamental.
I'm telling you, look. This one. Did you read this one?
Yes.
The Delectable Negro, bro. By Vincent Woodard. This shit right here is crazy, son. But then niggas talking to us about
about anything.
Like you can listen to this. I think this is an audio book. This one.
The James Coco book is available from PDFs from I think chapters 1 through whatever, but then you have to buy it at some point. It's almost like Babylon of Timbuktu is available on a PDF for a little bit, and then you gotta go buy it.
Yeah, but they cheap. I mean,
they're not expensive at all. But it's just.
But that's
what you're saying is clear. It's clear, bro.
Yo, and it's not even about. It's the opposite of fear and being downtrodden. You see, that's not the message whatsoever. To be a victim and to say, nah, I'm saying, yo, understand who you dealing with. Understand who's across from you. Understand how shit was, right? And those people come from some people that come from somewhere. The KKK was somebody granddaddy. So don't be obtuse to these points. Keep it tall and be vigilant. That's what I'm saying. I ain't no complaining, no victim. Nah, it's the opposite. Benefit of the doubt is not safe. Be ready so you don't got to get ready, and be kind so you don't have to do no shit that you gonna have to pay a penalty for. Right? Be the example, but don't let nobody play with you. I say yes sir, no sir, no matter what. Because if it escalate, I'm not gonna be playing, and I can't guarantee the outcome. It could be me or it could be them. People forget the part where it says that it could be me part. They always leave that part out. I'm boxing on Saturday, Cheeky. 2 things gonna happen. I'm gonna win or I'm gonna lose. Facts. People always forget the I'm gonna lose part. I'm not obtuse to that. But this ain't fear.
It's not victim mentality.
No.
It's none of that.
Yeah. That's the overarching point, man. Yo, hey man, it would behoove y'all to read these, man. I think they make a huge impact. So that's the takeaway that AP was saying. What now? Be vigilant. Understand who it is that you're dealing with and who's across from you. While they're telling you how heinous and egregious your behavior is, make sure you know what their behavior is and was. Right? Because then you'll get to a pot kettle hypocritical sentiment. Not just a black people got to do better. Black people got to do better and understand who's judging you. Because that shit ain't peaches and cream. Go ahead.
Nothing, dog. I'm gonna send you this song that I made in 2019 in college that literally speaks on that, right? And at the time, bro, it frustrates me to be called liberal or anything, and not just somebody that cares about the facts of a matter, from history to biblical understanding, from any of those. Whenever facts are involved or whenever research is involved, you're always going to be the person that's in the minute, the smaller. You're always going to be the remnant. That's the reason why I got exiled out of college campus ministries and churches. Is because I was looking at history. How are we saying we're Christians, but we don't do any of the things that people in the Bible do?
Okay.
Now it's same thing. How are we saying we're conservatives or we believe in conservative values, but you hired a convicted rapist in the office? How you say you care about women, but you say this? How you say you care about men, but you say that? And it's all thinking. How do we come to these conclusions and not really observe our reality, our own actions and facts? You're always going to be the person, oh, he's just a liberal. And then when you go to liberal spaces, oh, he's just conservative. I'm fact-based. I'm trying to figure out what is true and live according to that.
Yeah.
They're going to always do that shit, bro. It's crazy.
That's the point that we want to drive home, right? When we look at Daquan, black men, you are a threat. Right? I'd rather you think like that than think anything different. That's the point. Daquan had a gun and you are a threat, gun or not. A motherfucker can yell gun and you got a gun. You see? That's my message.
I'm looking at the barrel.
And he wasn't. Like it was right? Sonia Massey. You are a threat. So what do you do now that you know that? That's the now what? Let's do it, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. I have fatigue. What up, baby? Perfect. Cheeky was on point. Hold the white man and woman accountable.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
Hey, yeah, what's popping with the fight houses? They put the focus on us so that everyone can focus their attention on blacks while they are taking over in the background and getting away with it. Mm-hmm. They did Diddy crazy. We can't even get these files for the other dude. Hey, yeah, with the fight houses, they don't gotta admit it. They don't gotta admit to it. Just put the pressure on them so it get it off us, so we can have some wins in the background. Hey, yeah, with the $2, says AP is trying to play by the rules in a dirty game. Daily with the $2. Shout out to Simon of Cyrene. Yeah, man. Salute to Lucius, man. AP. Thank you, OG, for the 50 ball. He says, salute, brothers. Appreciate you.
You don't know what I know. You ain't seen what I saw. No, you ain't been where I go. With a belly so strong, you gotta back it with one eye closed. Shooters turn you inside out. I heard the feds turn the crib inside out. Drop the roof on these niggas, let they inside out. Fresh Prince jacket, boy, I cook them to the inside. You don't know what I know. No, no, you ain't seen what I saw. No, you ain't been where I go. With a fatty so strong, you gotta beg it with one eye. You don't know what I know. You ain't seen what I saw. No, you ain't been where I go. No, with a fatty so strong, you gotta beg it with one eye closed. Shooters turn you inside out. I heard the feds turn the crib inside out. Got the roof on these niggas, let they inside out. Fresh.
Salute.
Perfect.
Wow. I'm trying to pull it up. Hold on.
Hey, yo, this track called Body for a reason, fam. I'm finished.
Hold on. I'm trying.
Oh, wow. I didn't think he was going to play.
I want to hear it, man.
All right, bro. You can listen to it.
I'm trying to play it on the thing. But it came through like hold on. Oh wait, I know what I gotta do. Did I download it? Yo, it's a link, huh?
It was
yeah, it's a link.
Do I need to send it? No, it should be a file.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a file. Hold on. Let me play this shit. Okay, it's a file. Hold on. Let me see. I thought I just dropped it. No, I don't want to play it now. Got too much shit up on the fucking screen. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, man. That strange fruit, boy. I wonder if people know that reference.
No. I'm
They
sure
don't.
they don't. Nina Simone, bro.
Yeah.
It's such a good song. Man, like when you try to learn about history because you start to realize it matters.
Bro, I stand for the truth.
Oh shit, it's right there.
I got it now. Oh.
Hey, yo, this track called Body for a reason, fam. I'm finna just body this whole thing, you know what I'm saying? Facts only. Facts only from all sides, bro. I stand for the truth. I don't stand for nothing else but the truth. Amen. Everybody born with a singular casualty. Ain't no innocence in no nation. This nation is a monstrosity. So many backs of the black slaves who choose to build up a nation. Strip them from an identity and put them niggas on a plantation. Make sure you give them religion and a race they can claim. Superiority complex that was approved, all in Jesus' name. From Columbus to Cortez, their religion was Christian. And Constantine had a pagan and your man-made religion. And you agree, dog, don't mix with light, right? Cause in the 60s, a nigga get the news if he wanted himself a white wife. Ironically, you mix paganism, you say that it's so Christ-like. And you hang ornaments from a Christmas tree, and you worry about me breaking and entering. But yet, Satan did that job right. And you wonder why it's come back to this. It's always just a race thing. It's not a race thing at all. It's a culture shift from the accepted mainstream. Cause some of y'all pastors profit off of quote-unquote prophecy, monetizing messages just to get a monopoly off of media marketing. I thought you were supposed to be a Jesus man, not a businessman. Cause even Jehovah knows he's not a businessman, but a businessman. And even Kanye knows that Jesus walks with him. So why is it that these pastors don't see Jesus, don't really like this thing where people are using prophecy to profit off his supposed sheep? Maybe because the Jesus they believe don't match with history. And if your form don't get too high on your horse of neglectful history, let's track back to the 1860s where a white Christian wrote to me. Our Negroes are not spiritual, but ungodly heathens. They are covenant breaking, implacable, grossly immoral beings. Polygamy is common amongst them. There's no sacredness to Sabbath, cause on Sunday they sleep, sin, and be idle on our appointed day. Dear Dr. Reverend Representative of Andover and Princeton, pastor of Savannah, Georgia, First Presbyterian Community, author of religious instruction for the Negroes in the southern states, Reverend Charles Coco James, 4 plantations worth of slaves. The hypocrisy coming out his Christian mouth is so sickening, not because he's a slave owner, but because he represents Christianity. Now we want to breeze over history and clear replacement theology because y'all don't want to accept the cultural change that Messiah is requiring. You idolize your own culture. You westernize your eccentric man who are more willing to accept paganity than the culture of a Hebraic man. And not just the Hebraic man, but the Messiah himself. You show me another culture created by Yahweh himself. And I dare you to say Christianity, because I can go further back in history and show the lack of inclusivity and melanated diversity. As a matter of fact, I can go right back to the paganity intertwined in the foundation of this lawless religion that seems to be in love with everything but the truth. Make them culturally ambiguous, although we change that too. Make them culturally ambiguous so we can lie to you. But don't worry about it. There's gonna be a part 2.
Perfect.
Now, don't mind the technicalities of the rapping. I literally just started rapping. It just started. But the point is, behind the message of that is the history. That book that you just showed, I had read. After finding out this is what Christianity is in its totality. This is what white people think of us in its totality. I can't live according to this doctrine. I can't even live. I can't do it. I refuse to believe that there's a God in heaven that looks down on me and and represents him like me, like you see me. I can't do it. Nothing in the scripture says that. Nothing in the Bible. There's nothing to prove this. Everything that I did was facts, and that's just part of who I am. That to my core. I'm just a factual based person. So if any facts come to me and it's true and I can verify it, then I will believe it. I'm not left. I'm not right. I'm fact based. That's it.
That's it. Yeah, and I agree with Homeboy too. You found the pocket for that beat. I almost want to let it marinate I want y'all to hear that. And I want y'all, it's 180 people in the building. I think there's some more exciting shit going on today. Plus, I don't go live on Thursdays. But I want y'all to listen to this song. I want us to listen to it together. All right. And then we get up out of here. We're supposed to do music. I got to get the kids, though. But I think that this conversation was awesome. Hopefully, go back. Y'all can hear my monologue and all that. But the history matters, bro. People who don't know it choose to ignore it. And it's doing us a disservice. So when we get to the now what part, we got to first make sure y'all understand where it is that people come from and where they derive from. You know? Let me rock this out. And think about what was hanging from these trees, man.
Southern trees bear strange fruit, blood on the leaves and blood at the root, black bodies swinging in the southern breeze, strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees. Pastoral scene of the gallant South, the bulging eyes and the twisted mouth, scent of magnolia, sweet and fresh. Then the sudden smell of burning flesh. Here is a fruit for the crows to pluck, for the rain to gather, for the wind to suck, for the sun to rot, for the tree to drop. Here's a strange and bitter cry.
That shit. And that's the Billie Holiday. I think Nina Simone's is more popular.
Yeah, it is. Hers came after.
Yeah.
But that's the one that I think Nina Simone's voice fits that song better. But both songs are good. Both versions are good.
I'm gonna play that one. Let's look at the people who hung on. I'm gonna play the Nina Simone. I just want y'all to listen, bro. Any final thoughts, Cheek?
Nah, man. I am a truth teller, truth seeker, not a left or right, because it don't matter. I'm not committed to any side. I can't be. I'm not obtuse. It's the whole point of the show. Don't be obtuse. Be prepared.
Indeed. All right. Hey, man. T-minus 2 days, you get it popping.
Yes, Sirski. I'll be in tomorrow. I'll see you then.
All right, say less. Love you, bro. See you in a minute. Vegas is lit. I'm gonna drop the stream in the Discord, and I'll put it on the community post if y'all want to watch the fight. I'll probably fight like 2 or 3 on Saturday. Hopefully, I do a good job. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna try my goddamn best though. You be sure. Listen to this Nina Simone, man, before you get out of here. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Jump back in the Discord. I apologize. I should have told them they could have stayed in there for today. Because this is a stream I just dropped. But jump back in the Discord. Let's get it popping. Salute to everybody who was here. I hope this stream meant something to you, because it meant something to me. Like, share, subscribe. Listen to this Nina Simone. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Out.
Southern trees, bearing strange fruit, blood on the leaves, and blood at the roots. Black bodies swinging in the southern breeze. Strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees. Pastoral scene of the gallant South. Them big bulging eyes and the twisted mouth. Scent of magnolia, clean and fresh. Then the sudden smell of burning flesh. Here is a fruit for the crows to pluck. The rain together, for the wind to suck, for the sun to rot, for the leaves to drop. Here is strange and bitter